All right, well, thanks for coming. I'm going to spend a little bit of time today talking about some software that's called XtraNormal. And I'll preface it by saying I'm really not a very techie person. So this, I think, is one of the strengths of XtraNormal is that it's really, really easy to use. And it's got some really interesting possible implications and uses as far as classroom teaching goes, which I'm slowly trying to familiarize myself with and incorporate into the curriculum of some of my different courses. So one of the first things we'll do then is at least give a little bit of a historical review with apologies to the History Channel for stealing their logo. But the software itself was launched in 2008 and primarily designed as a tool for filmmakers to be able to put their storyboards up into a visual format very, very quickly so that they could kind of be creative, look at some different ideas that they had and be able to put them up into an animated version fairly quickly. And it had a little bit of success in that venue, but it really kind of got its big exposure about 2 years after its launch in 2010 when an employee from Best Buy decided...
Welcome to Phone Mart. How may I help you?
iPhone 4.
When an employee from Best Buy decided to use it, who was a little bit sick and tired of customers coming in and requesting the newest iPhone, and he was obviously not as much of an iPhone fan as he was an HTC fan. Unfortunately, this little video, once it kind of went viral, and you can see at this point something right that's about a little over 3 minutes long in total running time. It's got almost 16 million views at this point. So something that a guy basically took his emotion and his anger, right, and decided to try and turn it into a creative outlet. Unfortunately, Best Buy suspended him when they became aware of what he had done. And we won't show this whole thing because it would be R-rated with regard to language, but that doesn't really kick in until about after the first minute. So we'll watch a little bit of it so you get an idea kind of how it operates.
Where is the iPhone 4? I need an iPhone 4.
Oh, I'm very sorry, but we are currently sold out. However, we did finally get some more HTC Evos in.
What is that? Is it an iPhone?
No, it is that 4G phone on Sprint.
If it's not an iPhone, why would I want it?
Well, it's similar to an iPhone, but has a bigger screen.
I don't care.
The internet speeds are around 3 times faster.
I don't care.
It has a higher resolution camera on both the front and the back.
I don't care.
And it doesn't require you to be on Wi-Fi to use video chat.
I don't care.
Its battery is replaceable, as is the memory card.
I don't care.
It is highly customizable, everything from the widgets to the icons, the fonts, and even has video wallpaper.
I don't care.
All right, so you kind of get a flavor of what it's like, and that video is actually really, really entertaining as the language comes into play about a minute or so in as he gets more and more frustrated with it. But you can see something that's, right, it's obviously not glitch-free as you type in your text and as the software translates that into vocals, then, right, there can be some issues with regards to how that comes across. And there's a couple other issues with it as well that I'll talk about. But overall, it's a really, really interesting and pretty powerful little piece of software. My interest in it is, as a graduate student here, was kind of exposed to Benjamin Bloom's ideology with regard to learning objectives and learning outcomes, and realizing that, unfortunately, I think a lot of times that in the educational settings that we have to go to or go through or be a part of, that we're oftentimes focused down here at this very lower foundational level of stuff. We're asking our students to remember certain things, to recite those things, to show some sort of an understanding of them, and then maybe be able to apply them, right? And that, right, is not the peak, or that's not the top of learning outcomes. And so if you look at something where students are given some sideboards and some rules of engagement, but then turned loose with regard to what they're expected to come up with, that really allows them to tap into this very creative part of the triangle, which, as I said, we just don't seem to do very often in education. So I think that's really one of the strengths of where this comes into play. I teach a legal and ethical issues class, HHP 475E. It's a general education ethics class on campus. And with the issue of sexual assault really kind of coming prominent last spring, teaching 2 semesters or 2 sections of that course, it really seemed like a nice avenue to be able to try and incorporate some of that discussion into the classroom, right? And so one of the ways that we did that was just by having the students create some sort of an XtraNormal video. They were told that it had to be at least 1 minute in length, that it had to deal with sexual assault in some way, right? And then they had to, once you publish it on the software, then you've got the link to it, and you can do just about anything you want with that link. You can push it up to YouTube, you can push it out to Twitter, whatever you want to do. So we'll just take a quick little look here, and I think this one is interesting. Well, we'll watch a little bit of it first, and then I'll tell you, I think, why I believe it's interesting.
Oh baby, I want your body.
Oh, you do? And what exactly do you mean by that? You're not saying what I think you are you?
I want you all over me, over and over again.
No, you're drunk and you're my boss. This is sexual assault.
Sexual assault only happens at bars and in college dorms. Now kiss me, baby.
Sorry, I cannot do that. I only wanted to make sure you got home safely. Please respect my decision and let this go.
You want that promotion, don't you, big boy?
Ooh, I want it. The promotion, I would like to get the promotion the right way, the correct way, through hard work and my can-do attitude. I don't want to obtain a promotion through the use of my body.
Come here. Come on over here. I don't bite.
Oh, but I think you do bite and I'm not coming close enough to get hit. I know your reputation, you're a sexual assault, and I will not be a victim. I'm taking a stand and I will see you at work tomorrow. Sexual assaults do not only happen in bars and dorm rooms. We all need to take action, protect ourselves, respect the wishes of others, and put an end to sexual assaults. It should not be tolerated.
Did one of your students make that?
They work in teams on this project.
So that's out of your class?
That's a team of 5 from the class. And why I say I think it's interesting is because as you track kind of what's going on with some of the sexual assault stuff, and now with the emphasis being placed on the PETSA training and the voices that are out there, one of these kind of undercurrent voices is this notion that some males are feeling a little bit persecuted, perhaps, a little bit picked on and looked and feel like they're being looked at as a population that's completely responsible for this. When you look at the numbers, it's a very, very, very small percentage of males that might possibly assault somebody. And so in this case, you've got a group of people that have an opportunity to be able to voice that. And it's just one more tool or one more avenue where they can put some voice to frustration or an issue that they might have, right? And then it's out there, and then you can do what you want with it. It opens up discussion. It opens up dialogue. And it basically gets or helps get the conversation started and going. Just really what was a very simple project. I mean, time from start to finish, was less than an hour as far as being given the parameters of what they were to work on, sitting down as a team and coming up with a script, putting it into the software program, and then publishing it. So in less than an hour's time, there's then about 9 to 10 teams in each of these classes, so you've got 9 or 10 videos. And with the students' permission, we push up to Facebook and out to Twitter, and then obviously they're on our Moodle page for the course, and so everybody can look at them and comment on them. And again, just kind of continue that discussion or that dialogue. So what is it? Well, it's really easy, basically. You go to the website, sign up for it. You can, as a new user, basically, there's different options. But the nice thing about it that I found is as a new user, they give you a set number of points. And so you can basically create your first video for free. After that, they will charge you. But it's really pretty nominal what they charge you if you want to do it on a pay-per-use. And maybe somebody would be interested to the point where they'd be willing to spend that kind of money per month if they felt like they were going to use it in class enough. But with my experience with it, this basic free sign-up has been really all I've needed. You just basically plug in your username, your email, establish a password, and confirm the password. Once you do all that, And I'll just log myself in here. It'll bring you back to here. It now recognizes that I'm in, and I can just go to create. And it'll bring me up to the storyboards, and then I can pick which storyboard that I want. Let's just say I'm interested in, let's see what this one will get me. Maybe we'll do 2 actors. And then I've got some options then within my location, just a green screen, that, or whatever this might be. It's like a ring of some sort. And you can see, I think for about $10 I gave them, they ended up giving me about 1,500 points or something. And typically to publish a movie, it costs about 200 to 300. The very first time you sign up, they'll give you like 250 points, I think it is. So basically, again, you can publish your first movie on them for free, and then after that it's a very nominal cost if you want to do the pay-per-use option. So we've chosen our set. We'll choose our actors then. If I want to do 2 actors, I'll pick that for the first one and one of these for the second one. The first one, I'll give him, you have unbelievable options as far as different voices, and so those are actually in German or whatever language you choose. So we'll choose English boy for that one, and English male for that one. As far as background sound, we can pick all sorts of different options that we might want to incorporate. Maybe a battlefield would be interesting. And then as far as background music, maybe no selection. And then it'll bring us to our text boxes, where we just simply do that, and we'll toggle over to that guy. We can drag in and drop different motions that we might want, so we'll drag that motion over there. It'll give us a menu of different things that we want to possibly incorporate. You can see there's lots of different options. Maybe we'll just have them blow a kiss. And we'll apply that to there. Nothing much. Maybe we'll drag a face over to here. Maybe we won't. Point. All right, this is where the software gets challenging, at least in my view. We've come up with some text, we've come up with some motions, we can preview what's going on. It's really, really slow. And again, I'm not a techie person, so I don't know. I assume that's a server issue. The more people that are using the software, the longer it takes to be able to preview what you've done. So messing around with it earlier this morning, I tried to do a preview and it just sat there and spun its wheel there. In class, especially under a wireless environment, it takes a really long time. So the students do get frustrated with it, it seems like at times, because there's not that immediate feedback of being able to quickly preview what their video looks like. Eventually, you can, when you feel comfortable, you can go and publish it. And that takes a while as well to publish it, but again, once you've published it, that's kind of your final product. So again, to me, that is one of the drawbacks as far as the software goes, is just this time that it takes to be able to see what you've done. Otherwise, if you just want to kind of type away and feel comfortable with what you're doing, then you can just go to a publish at that phase. But again, one of the challenges is you'll type in a word, like you might have noticed in the example, I think it was customizable, and it just said customizable or something that the software just doesn't quite recognize or know how to pronounce that word. So at times you actually even have to mess around with the text to get it to say what you want it to say, like adding double E's or something so you get a long E sound that the software wasn't able to pick up. So, but really, in a nutshell, to be able to allow students the opportunity to be creative in a very short period of time and then come up with really a tangible product, because then that URL exists for forever, basically. You're good to go.
So what you've done here is created one scene, then you can add a second scene, and a third scene, a fourth scene.
Yep, you just, I'll just keep adding text box down below and toggling back and forth as far as who I want to say that. As you get into it more, and then you do have to pay, I think, to be able to get them to walk around and move and change scenes and maybe even add in 3 or 4 actors total. But again, that all comes with a cost.
What's going on, men?
Nothing much.
Right, so you can see that was, to me, that's an unsatisfactory amount of time to have to wait and see what your stuff looks like. But again, and I don't know why it works that way. At times it's really pretty quick, but other times I think their servers must just be getting hammered, and it's really tough for them to be able to spit out that preview pretty quickly. So that is a drawback to me of it, but it's worth putting up with. If you explain that to students on the front end, hey, it's going to take you a while to see your preview, they seem a little bit more understanding of it in that case. Questions?
I just wondered if you saved it first and then previewed it, if it would run faster. Have you tried that?
I haven't. You mean save it so that I can come back to it later?
Well, if you save it before you preview it, if that would send it to their servers faster without trying to, and then pull it up.
Oh, and then even log yourself out, or go back to your.
I just was thinking about the layers of programming that you're laying down there. You're laying down an audio track, you're laying down an animation track, and you're laying down a lot of layers there to get it to process.
Yeah, but those layers are already on their side. You chose from their layers. Maybe if you pay more, it goes faster.
I wouldn't be surprised at that.
On the other hand, it took what, 3 minutes max?
Yeah.
That's actually
That's awesome.
not fast. I mean, not slow. We're just used to.
Instant
YouTube
gratification.
says that your upload time can take up to 8 hours.
True.
So I've never encountered much more than about 15 minutes, but I haven't tried to upload on January 1st at noon.
Right.
People are putting up party videos or something.
And especially if they're continuing to work on their dialogue, and then eventually the preview comes, then it's not really wasted. Yeah.
And so far they only just have the 2 actors that can.
You can do a monologue, so you can pick one actor, or you can pick the 2.
Yeah.
So somebody could just stand up there and make us soliloquy if you wanted to do that. But at least for me personally, I'll be frustrated with something. I'll go to Jiffy Lube and be extremely frustrated with the service, and it becomes a voice, right, where I can just kind of spew out my displeasure with Jiffy Lube by making a video about it, or after.
Is that yours?
Those are mine, yeah. So after seeing 10 students come in who are unsure about what they want to.
Would you mind if I showed a second option to this?
No, by all means.
Yeah, I just figured it. I finally remembered what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one is called Go Animate. It's the exact same thing, but I think it's. We'll just play a little demo.
You want to make a video. That's great. Video is huge these days. You're jazzing up the content on your website, indulging your inner movie director, or sending a sonnet to someone you love. It's all good at first, until you realize you don't have a camera or know any actors, let alone anyone who would work for free. You're kind of busy and money sure isn't a strong suit. You also just don't know how. You're reaching for the stars, but they're too far away. You fear your sonnet will go unsung. Then you discover Go Animate. Go Animate is the world's #1 do-it-yourself animated video website. We specialize in bringing those stars within your reach. We make it easy and affordable to produce attention-grabbing videos that deliver your message loud and clear. We combine the power of professional animation software with the simplicity of a drag-and-drop world. We also have tools that understand the need for speed. There are libraries filled with characters, backgrounds, and props. And a character creator where you can build the next big star. You can lend your own dulcet tones to your video. And if you're shy, you can use our text-to-speech actors. They know more than 20 languages. Then, to really bring your video to life, the soundtrack. When you're finished, use our sharing tools to blast to all your social networks, or send privately to the one you love. Sign up today. It's free. If you want to pay, we have a subscription called Go Plus, which will give you more features, more themes, and more stuff. It's up to you. GoAnimate.com.
So I know about that one because my son made some stuff. I'd show it to you, but he's 14, and of course, very inappropriate. Not good for here. But what I liked about it was it didn't have. What I'm noticing is it didn't have near the limitations that XtraNormal has. I can have. I think it is only up to 2 actors with the free thing, but I can have multiple locations. They started off in the kitchen, and then of course my son then immediately moved to the bedroom. But they had way more opportunities to do more actions and stuff than I think the other one did. Anyway, just another alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's all yours.
So we get to watch your videos, Shirley?
We can watch part of it if you want. Again,
Up to 1 minute before you start.
well, it does. Well,
Welcome to the HHP department.
HHP, is that like genital warts?
No, I think you are confusing us with HPV, which is the human papillomavirus. HHP stands for Health and Human Performance.
Good, because I do not want to major in warts. What is HHP all about anyway? What can I do with an HHP degree?
Well, we have several options. Within HHP, we have community health, exercise science, athletic training, and health enhancement.
I took some extents once. That was for meal enhancement. Is that the same thing as health enhancement?
No, not even. Health enhancement is what the state of Montana calls its health and physical education teachers.
So I would be a gym teacher.
Yes, if it is what you want to call it.
Can I major in table tennis? I see that HHP has some table tennis classes. I would like to major in table tennis.
No, table tennis is just one of our many activity classes. You cannot major in table tennis.
That sucks.
so there you go. Which is actually a decent advising tool for students who come to us and aren't sure about what we offer. It is a little different, perhaps edgy way to educate them about what some of our offerings are.
What about Jiffy Lube?
Jiffy Lube is really inappropriate, so we won't even click on that one.
They have more page views than the student's video.
This one's up on YouTube, and it actually does have quite a few views on YouTube. So, other questions?
Seems to be fairly easy to use. I see the benefits of both, because yours, if you have a more in-depth theater class and an older student, it would be, because there's more things to manipulate. This you could use with almost a younger grade level.
You really could, yeah. I mean, then how many different things are you working on at that point? Is there having a keyboard? Is there having to spell so that it interprets that word correctly? They're getting to create. I mean, they're working on a lot of different skills in one piece of software.
I wonder if you could lock it down further, so limit or just set it up. So I guess, because kids, my kids especially, they'll go out, they'll try every button, every tab to get out there. Where do you see this? How young do you think we could use it? They've got to type.
I think part of it would depend on what your ratio is of student to teacher. I mean, obviously you're going to have that element of kids, at least my impression, that are going to push the envelope a little bit and type in some words and see what it sounds like. So how much one-to-one attention can you give to the kids that are probably going to need it a little more versus turning loose to kids that you are more confident they're going to go and
I would definitely try them both just to see which one fits your style best. You know, which one makes more sense to you.
Yeah. Because this one has a lot fewer options, and I can see where that would be a plus in some instances. But I could see where if you had like differentiating instruction, there's ones that are more towards the other one than this one would be a more limited interaction. But it definitely has a purpose to do something short.
I think one of the challenges would be they need an email address then, because they each have to have their own account, unless you've got the educator package somehow, but then you're paying for it.
Yeah, they'd have to have their own account. There's a whole slew of permissions you have to do for media classes.
Right.
Their participation.
Probably it would be best, I would think, to have them all use the same account, because then you can manage it. You set up an account, they log into that account. You can now manage it and delete inappropriate things and kind of make it. You can grade it right
if it's
there.
inappropriate, it's gone.
Yeah. But what were the options? $10 a month and $50
Yeah,
a
that's
month?
not bad.
Which,
And it doesn't, it just, you're limited by points though for, is it so many points?
I'm just on the pay-per-use is what I did, so I don't even know what if you would get unlimited at 10 a month, or what the difference is between $10 a month and 50 a month. 50 a month seems pretty steep, but.
Well, if you're going to use it for 1 month, if you've got 30 or 60 students, I guess.
True. Use it for a month and cancel it. Get as much use out of it as you can.
It's a long time, but definitely, I like your idea. You keep control of it. They aren't building their own accounts. So you're using a static. They pull it up. It's on their computer. That's it. They're not going out. Someone's going to. But.
Well, when they go home, now it's out of your control. But at least in your classroom, you want control.
Now, the characters recognize symbols and numbers. So when you're typing a symbol, would they recognize 99%, or would you have to write out 99%?
You can use the numbers and then the word. I don't think it's going to interpret the percent symbol. They're going to have to type out percent. But again, just even in a couple of short clips, you could hear that there's certain words that it just didn't get right, or it just put its own little inflection that was a little bit different than where it should have been. But it kind of is what it is.
And I think there's different inflection things you can do to cause the inflection to go another way if you wanted to, but that requires learning how to use it.
Yeah.
Reading the manual.
But that's cool on the Go Animate, because I'll mess around with that then and see if that's a better fit.
Yeah, try it.
Especially if it's free.
I think it had more features for
like
the free side.
Yeah, it definitely did have more meat to the free side of it.
And it didn't take nearly as long to generate the preview. Although it does take a while because it has to assemble all this stuff together and then render a movie out and then give it to you. It's going to take time no matter what.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. So can I get the Jiffy Lube